Hello, welcome to the sixth episode of Coding Game with Java. Welcome to Code with Eddie. So today we are gonna be learning how to move our enemies around the game window. So let's run the application and see what have we done so far. So far we've created a beautiful application. We are able to listen to key events. We can move our player left, right. So the first thing which we're gonna do is to make sure we move our player just within the game window. So you see the player going out of the game window. We want to be able to move our player in this X and Y direction, left and right, just within the game window. So very simple code. Let's just go right away to our player and add the code here. So as we said earlier, the update function helps to change the position of the player. So we've used the key event to change the position when we press the key, but however we can use the update position to restrict what the key event can change. So we're going to check. The first thing is to check if, remember, the player has access to the protected X and Y coordinate of the player. So we can able to say this dot x to get the x coordinate. So if the x coordinate of this player is less than 0, that is, if this player, let me do it in the drawing board. So if this is our game window, right, this is the y coordinate right up here, y, and this is the x coordinate here. So it goes in this way. So x increases in this direction. This is plus x, and this way is minus x, and this way is minus y, and this other direction is plus y. So the y axis positively increases like this. So here is 0 0, and in this direction is positive, while in this direction up it is negative, but the x remains the same as our normal xy coordinate. So we want, this is our player somewhere here. Our player can move only in the x and in the y direction. So we don't want the player to move out of the x direction. So this is when x is less than 0. So x is less than 0 in this direction. So this is what we're going to do. If x is less than 0, we want to put x at 0, so we don't go out of that position. Else we check. Else means x is greater than 0. So, and if that x which is greater than 0, this x is way greater than the width of the window. We want to be able to put this x to be equal to the width of the width. I keep calling it width, the width of the window. Okay. What's wrong here? Oh, why am I having an error here? Oh, x, left at x. Good. Okay, so if this is greater than the width of the window, we want our x should be equal to the width of that window. So let's run it and see. Come on. Okay, good. So we move our x to the 0 the position. Oh, we end. We cannot go. I keep pressing and it's not going. Now we move to the right. Oops, we can go. But we just go, and it's because the size of our player is 32. So we can move inside. So we have to subtract the size of the player from the game window. So that, yeah, that's running now. So you see we can able to go, and we are not going out. so it matches the size of the player. Good. So we are good because the position of this player is calculated from this bar. So if we are going this direction, it has to enter. We have to move 32 such that this size of the player will be calculated in the game window. Good, you get the point. So now let's move our enemy, this red enemy, to be falling downward. We want the red enemy to keep moving in the Y direction. So what do we do? Why is this thing running many copies? Good. Now we want to add a red enemy here. This is the red enemy. We'll call it enemy arrow. We want it to move in this direction. That's what we are doing. So we go to the enemy class, all the enemies, or the red enemy class. This is the red enemy class, red. We want them to move in the Y direction. What do we do? The first thing is to increase the velocity. So we say this dot velocity in Y direction. Velocity is like the speed. Let's just put it to 1, or let's say 3. Let's say 1 first. 1, it moves in the Y direction. So whatever position it is, we add the velocity to 1, and we keep updating this the value of the X of this Y direction, this dot Y, the Y direction, to be equal to, so say plus equal to the velocity. So we keep increasing. This is the velocity, means we want it to move at the speed of 1 pixel. So we keep adding 1 pixel to the Y pixel to the Y coordinate, so it keeps moving downward 1 by 1 pixel, 1 pixel by 1 pixel. Every time the update method is called, it moves it by 1 pixel every time. Remember, the update method runs in the game loop, so the game loop calls every entity and calls the update method. So each time the update method is called, it will be increasing the Y direction by 1 pixel. So let's run it now and see what happens. Run. So it's not working. Oh, we have to we are removing the Y by 1 pixel, sorry. So Y, this is Y. Good, let's run it. It should work now. Good, it moves by 1 pixel every time the update method is called. It moves by 1 pixel. And now let's make this number to be random, so that if the object can move by 1 pixel or by any number of pixels. I've written this method to generate random number from a particular point. I'm gonna just paste it here so that we don't get to waste time. Now this method just simply gets random integer less than this maximum number, so less than or equal to this maximum number. So I'm using the math class. I generate some couple of decimal numbers. I multiply it by this to have in this range, and then I just cast it to integer and add 1, so that if it's 0 point something multiplied by this times 1, you get the idea. So you can just copy this code and use, there's nothing big in it anyway. So we want to be able to increase our entity randomly, so we want to be able to choose the speed from the range of 1 to 5. So enemies can have, each time I run, I can have different speed. So so the speed is apparently about 2. Let's run it again and see the speed it comes with. Start. So it's more faster, each time it has different speed. Good. So that's the first thing. We want to be able to create many enemies and many foreign enemies. So here we have one enemy. let's create a couple of enemies. We just double them. So at how many we have created? About 3 enemies now. Let's just add up to 5 enemies. So that's 3, 4, 5 enemies. Now let's this position. I've taken time to get some of this position, so you can just use this position. They're almost the same. So 10, 110 and 0, and this other enemy is 110 and 0, and this enemy is 40. I just want every enemy to start with position 0 and give a space with each other. So we have 5 enemies added to our list. Let's run it. So those are 5 enemies in the list. Let me run it. Keeps going and coming. So click 5 enemies to see the 4 at different speed. Good. Now we are able to have enemies falling. Now what do we do to make sure that our enemies let's code the other enemy. Let's code the annoying enemy. Let's make the annoying enemy to be able to bounce around the window. So with the annoying enemy, we'll set the speed, this dot velocity in the x direction to be 4, and we'll set the velocity in the y direction, so the annoying enemy can move both in x and in y direction. We'll set it to 4, or let's just say 3, something, and then or we can just put a random. Good. No, let's put it to 3. It's good like that. You can just have random numbers for it. We can just say this plus x, and we keep increasing it by the velocity, so that each time we call the update method, it adds that particular, add 4 to it. So we copy the same thing and we do it for the y direction. And that's it. Now let's run and see. See our annoying enemy is good. Now our annoying enemy just run and go out of the game window. Let's make it such that it should be able to bounce around. So simple to do that. Very simple. So we just simply say if, the same how we did for our key event, if this x position, let's say the y position, is less than or equal to 0, that means it's going up and down and it has gone past the top, or this dot y position is greater than the game window, game dot the height. So if it has gone past the height, what do we want to do? We want to set the velocity, this dot velocity, to multiply equals to -1. So it start going back to the reverse direction. So if it's going up like this, if the annoying enemy here is coming like this and it hits this point where it is out of the game window, it will now go with this same velocity in the reverse direction. So you will just bounce like this in this other direction, subtracting 1 from each of this position. So if it's in this position, you move 1 from the y x, and you move 1 from the y, you fall somewhere in and somewhere like that. You get the point. So we keep subtracting 1. So we copy the same code and we do it for the x and the y, so that it subtract 1 from both of the direction. So yeah, Oh, apparently here was supposed to be y. So good. So we have x and y. Let's see what happens to our annoying enemy. So it goes, bounce. No, it did not bounce. It's like it's bouncing way outside. Bounce right inside. Why does it do that? Also, we have to put the width. Width. Keep calling it width. So the width of the window, not the height. So it should bounce inside. Toop, toop, toop. Good. It bounces everywhere. Now we have to make this one. Each time you reach the end of the window, it should go back and choose another random position for the normal enemy. We want when it goes down, when it goes and it comes out, it should come back up and choose another random position and continue with enemy walk. Okay, the video is getting longer, so let's make it fast and short. So now this in our update. Now if in this update method we check now if the y position, since as our red enemy moves only in the y direction, if its y position is greater than or equal to the game dot height. The video is getting long, I don't want it to be long. Game dot height, what do we want to do? We want to be able to move the x position to this random, so we want to generate a new random integer in the x position. So along the x line up, we want to generate a random integer within the height, within the width of the window, so anywhere among the width. So let me explain this. Let me first put the y position will always be 0. We want it to start from 0. So this is it. So when this red enemy comes to the bottom of this, we want to be able to bring it back up to y position 0. So y position 0 here. And we want to be able to put this enemy at anywhere in the x position. So y will be 0, means it will be at this 0 line of y, and then we push him at any position of this x direction. So this the complete x, we can put him anywhere in this line, generate a random number between this from 0 to the width of the game window. That's what we are doing. So we generate this random number between this width and put it for our y position, and everything should be looking good for the enemy. So let's see. So it goes, it comes back somewhere else. So it falls back somewhere else. See, and our annoying enemy is there bouncing around. I think we have a game already. Oh, nice. Oh, good. Awesome. So now I think we end this video here. It's getting too long. So in our next video, we are gonna be working with the health status. So we wanna be able to do collision. So if each of these enemy touches the white player enemy, will have to throw an error. So our player enemy will have to be dodging this enemy. Will have a cool game. So if you touch, your point reduces, and if you dodge, you gain 1 point, and so on. That's it. So thank you. I'm happy you're liking my video. Please don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video. Bye bye.